So we're here today with one of my longstanding clients, Dr. Ernest Brown. Dr. Brown, how long have we been training for?
Let's see, it'd be probably about 8 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 9 years.
That's right, yeah. So COVID hit, we all know that, and some people were very busy during COVID. Dr. Brown was one of them, so he didn't have time to exercise, and gyms were closed as well. So we went for a number of months, probably several months, without seeing each other. We did stay in contact, but Dr. Brown, like other of my clients, fell off the wagon. And we got back together a couple months ago and reviewed all of the things that he had been eating before. Why don't you just tell the audience what you...
Should I lie or should I tell the truth?
You should tell the truth. I think they all want the truth, yeah.
Well, being the pandemic hit for the first month or two, I actually was doing pretty good.
Right.
But then that quickly became, the schedule got very quick. So I had to resort to kind of foraging for food, but also the comfort of food became a very big factor.
Sure.
I don't drink, but at the same time, I just wasn't on a regular. You know, I like to be in sync every day. And
Yeah.
I was finding I was still good with what I was using in terms of supplements to keep my body optimized, but the rest of it was just, it wasn't good.
Yeah. And you were also, he was very busy during the pandemic, doing tests for a lot of people. But during that time, I was able to actually refine my method of coaching people through keto and intermittent fasting. And one of the big things about keto and intermittent fasting is that it takes your fuel source for your body, it takes it from using sugar as fuel, to using fat as fuel, so that your body will burn the fat. So one thing that people do, probably 90% or even more Americans, is use sugar as fuel. So give us some examples of the foods that you were eating.
So I'm half Turkish,
Right.
so that's bread.
Right.
That's rice.
Right.
For coffee, originally I wouldn't have anything, but then I'd start adding honey to it,
Right.
add some flavor because you get up and go. But it was foraging, so I would forage for food, so whatever I could get at that time is what I would get. So it would be occasionally like, eating Mediterranean, but then there'd be the nice pita bread that's fresh and the rice and those things. So yeah. And I wasn't really keeping track. When
Right.
we were training, we had gotten to such a point that every day I was recording, like
Right.
what my eating habits, what my sleep was, all of that was outside the window.
Right. So now we're back. And so all those foods that he just talked about, we've removed from his diet, and we've replaced them with healthy fats. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take you through what he eats on a daily basis. A keto meal, first of all, begins with keto meals for the day. Number one, it's about 7 to 10 cups of vegetables a day. Then you eat about 6 to 8 ounces, depending on how much protein you like, whether you work out a lot. If you don't, then it's about 3 to 4 ounces of protein. And then fat. This is the most important thing of the meal because ketosis is burning fat. So fat quantity is about 20 to 40 grams of fat a day. Per meal, not a day, but per meal. And then you get about under probably 30 grams of carbohydrates, but the carbohydrates are not like fruits, not the fruits like pineapples or apples. We're avoiding those things. We're avoiding breads, we're avoiding rice, we're avoiding potatoes, and we're actually replacing them with, for example, almond flour, which in one of our next segments, you'll see us making keto cookies with almond flour. So it's just replacing what you like the regular things of flour and potatoes and rice, with something that's of actually better quality and better energy source. So Dr. Brown, why don't you tell us about what you are starting to eat? Like, what do you eat for breakfast, first off?
So for breakfast, I actually try to go really light because in addition to doing keto, I'm also doing intermittent fasting.
Right.
So
Which we'll get to in a little bit.
we will,
Okay.
but for my breakfast, it's really just a kind of a spritzer. So I'm using some products. One is apple cider vinegar and lemon, one lemon. And then I'm also using sparkling water. I'm also entering electrolytes and some magnesium and calcium.
Nice.
And that's enough for me to last until the afternoon. If I find I'm running a little low, then I'll add some more electrolytes.
Right.
But that's something that we've been working on for the last month, and the results have been great. But lunch would be something where I try to get in greens. I'll be honest, greens are not easy for me.
Sure.
I will enjoy a salad, but every day it kind of gets a little hard. So, but I can say that I will steam vegetables for dinner. So all in all, I'll get a reasonable amount.
Yeah.
But then in terms of protein, cheese, eggs, whatever it happens to be, chicken breast, all of those things, I kind of mix it up and add a little bit of variety because it's the spice of life. And that kind
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. But I would say because I'm adding on intermittent fasting, it's a little bit different. But lunch and dinner are pretty much fresh in general and non-processed and no carbs, really.
Yeah.
If I am, it's kind of sneaking in some places. Like we looked at my oat milk that I was using with my coffee, and lo and behold, right there on the label was guilty. Yeah.
But it's okay because I think a lot of people who actually start out on keto run into this what I would call a trap of the food industry, which is they will sell products as keto, or you'll think that is something that's keto, but then it has a hidden sugar in it, like maltodextrin or dextrose or sucralose. So a lot of times I am educating clients through making sure that they look at the labels before they actually purchase something and consume something. So it's an educational process for both me and for the clients, because there's constantly things being put in our foods that we don't understand. So it's up to us and our responsibility to actually look at what those things are. So if you see a thing that says maltodextrin on your food, number one, you should look it up and see what that means. Always look it up. So now, you spoke a little bit about intermittent fasting, and intermittent fasting and keto have to be done together, or the whole program will not work. Intermittent fasting basically is when you have a eating window. Like say, for example, you start eating at 12 o'clock.
Yeah,
right?
Mine is I stop at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I go all the way until 2 p.m.
That's right.
And for the first week, it was kind of like I was in this fog towards the end.
Right.
But then and that's the thing I would say, there's going to be changes and you need to be prepared for it.
That's right.
But there are strategies to get you through it.
Right.
But it's well worth it over time.
Right. Like the apple cider vinegar, the lemon juice, electrolytes, nutritional yeast, or it's known as B1, will help you get over that transition period, because your body is moving from burning sugar to now burning fat. And for me, I'm 43 years old. My body had been using sugar for about 4 decades.
Yeah, I'm 53. So
right. So you got a little, 10 more years, right? But our bodies, our bodies are going in this direction of burning sugar, and all of a sudden we want to have it burn fat. It's like, no, I don't think so. So you need their tools to be able to use, or you need to use these tools in order to transition over into ketosis.
And having somebody like coach like you, because first thing I was like, Carlos, I'm getting kind of foggy, and you're like, oh, do that. So and it worked.
Yeah.
So it's great.
And go ahead.
And one of the fascinating things is, you as a coach, I'm a physician. You know, I take care of patients.
Right.
But at the same time in medical school, how many hours of nutrition do you think I was taught?
We talked about this.
Like 4 hours.
4 hours. Right.
That's it.
Right.
So your physician, all due respect, it may not be the best to really kind of coach on that, but having somebody like you really is, you're talking about prevention. You're slowly introducing things that are going to have a profound impact. The things like medications for hypertension, cholesterol, not an issue anymore. And that's, we'll have opportunities to talk more about that.
Right, exactly.
But Yeah.
Well, that brings up a good point. It's the Hippocratic Oath, Hippocrates, right?
Yeah.
He said, "Let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food." And somewhere along the 2,000 years, we've lost
Mutated.
that. Yeah, mutated. So yeah. So going back to intermittent fasting, so you have this window that you're not eating, and during that window, we're not using a hormone called insulin, which actually blocks fat burning, right? So if you fast for a certain amount of time, you're not activating insulin, you're burning fat, but you're also doing something else that is very fascinating, which is called autophagy. And you know what autophagy is, right? It's the cells, the body recycling cells, renewing the cells. And it actually, what I think of it as now is like the new modern day fountain of youth, because that is what keeps people young. Because if your body's recycling the cells and getting rid of waste and getting rid of toxins.
And you can see it.
Yeah.
You know, I have friends my age who look older than me.
Right.
You know, because, you know, they partied hard and did some things that, they got a lot of toxins.
Right.
And it adds up. So, and you can feel it.
That's right. Yeah.
In fact, that's what led me to you, was because I've gotten to a point where every day I honestly felt sick. Didn't really know I was sick.
Right.
But then after seriously committing to training with you, and a year later, I was like, wow, I can't go back to that.
Right.
Now, even with this pandemic, I can snap back into this.
That's right.
Because I know what the goal is and what the benefit's going to be. I'm going to feel better. I'm going to be able to do more things.
That's right.
So I'm going to thank you.
Yeah, well, you're very welcome. Very welcome, friend. And what's important about this too is that with intermittent fasting and keto, you're actually, the goal of it is not to lose weight. I get many people who come to me and say, I want to lose weight, I want to get into my bathing suit, my bikini suit, etc. The first thing I ask them is, are you willing to change your lifestyle? Are you willing to go from the direction that you were going in and make a complete 180 and go in a different direction? Because the point of keto is to make your body healthy first.
Yes.
And then all the other benefits come into play. So that's basically the whole point of keto and intermittent fasting. So our goal, both Dr. Brown as a doctor, me as a nutrition and personal trainer coach, is to basically help the planet get healthy. I mean, that's our purpose and our goal.
Yeah, you only got one life.
That's right, yeah. So you better make it worth it, right?
Right.
Good. All right. Well, stay tuned. We'll go into our next segment where Dr. Brown and I are gonna make something which I love, which is my chocolatey, chippy keto cookies.
And they're great.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, they're very good, and I can't wait to eat them. So stay tuned.
Yay!
Yay!